And I'm sure the whole time engineering was just looking at me like, this guy wanted to become an astronaut, then a firefighter, then a pilot. The whole time I'm just here waiting for him. I feel that's how engineering was looking at me, because choosing chemical engineering wasn't just a decision, it was a journey. So I want to share with you the journey of how I ended up studying chemical engineering. Now let me just go straight into it. From a very young age, I just wanted to become an engineer. I don't even know where I got the concept, where I got the understanding of who an engineer is and what he does. But I just learned that from a very young age that an engineer is someone that makes things happen, solves problems, constructs almost everything around us are created and constructed by engineers. So I just wanted to be that person that does that. And even coming from Nigeria, I knew that the petroleum we had was converted to, the fuel that we use, diesel and so on, by engineers. Although by that time I didn't know the different engineering fields that existed. I didn't know of mechanical, chemical, and all. So I just wanted to become an engineer from a very young age. So what happened was that over time, I don't know, I would say maybe it's because of movies and so on. I don't know from where, but eventually I just developed the interest that I want to go to space. Partly because at that young age, I can't really specify which time, but I'm guessing it's from like primary school to high school. They used to teach us a lot that Neil Armstrong was the first man that went to the moon, although I don't really believe that. But at that time, I was really excited that he went to the moon. And I was like, how cool would it be to also go to the moon? So I really wanted to become an astronaut at that time. And also in a lot of movies, you see it, they keep showing us space like Interstellar and so on. I think Star Wars was completely in space, stuff like that. You want to go to space and so on. So I really wanted to become an astronaut. So I had one uncle that really talked me out of it. I can't remember the specific uncle, but he just talked me out of it. He was like, that is not realistic in Nigeria. We don't have any space program. Like, they don't even teach aerospace engineering here. You have to go abroad and so on, blah, blah, blah. So becoming an astronaut was like out of the list. The next one was I wanted to become a firefighter. Yeah, I bet some of you are like me. You wanted to become, firefighters and, astronauts when you were young. And that was like where I found myself. I wanted to become a firefighter. Yes. I'm happy that I grew up in a very good, like a conducive environment, a very good neighborhood. I grew up in a place where everything was like check. If there was a fire, you just have to make a phone call and the firefighters will come. Like everything was just conducive in that environment. So growing up, I don't know for some reason, but there was a lot of fires that were happening in my area. Like every month or two or three, there would be like a fire outbreak. And we were little that time. So anytime we see smoke in our area, we like run towards it because the firefighters would like come with their trucks with the siren and so on, right? So that was like exciting for us, even though on the other side someone's house was burning. Like we didn't really have that deep understanding. At that time, our own was like we just want to go and see how they will save the day, how they will help the people and quench the fire. So because of that, not only me, a lot of my friends wanted to become firefighters at that time. As time would have it, that wasn't going to happen. So eventually, after I finished my primary school, I went to high school, right? I was in JSS1, that's grade 7. At that time, I met my seatmate. He was so into aviation and so on, and he just sold me on it. Apart from that, before I went to grade 7, I actually had some excursions. I went to the Air Force. That was when I was put into an actually fighter jet, and someone was explaining it to us. This is how they fly, this is what they do, that. Like all these things. It was really cool for me. And then there was another time we went to the airport. They showed us, I think that was the first time I was on an airplane, because by that time I've never flown to anywhere. So it was really interesting for me. They showed us the cockpit and so on. So with all these things in my mind, like in my background, when I met my friend in grade 7, he was so into aviation, he wanted to become a pilot. I was sold like I want to become a pilot. Every day we would come, like, just like talk about aviation. I would tell him, have you seen this movie? Have you seen this? Have you seen this video? So we're really into it. We just wanted to be pilots. And this actually ran, I think throughout my secondary school, I wanted to become a pilot. But engineering was somewhere like second choice. I want to be a pilot, but if that doesn't work out, there's engineering. So engineering has been in the background throughout. I was just thinking of other things. So what happened was that after I finished my secondary school, I wanted to become a pilot. This is the time to actually decide, are you going to aviation school or you're going to university? So my parents actually called me and told me that if I can change for something else. And I didn't feel anything about it. I was like, I respect their decision. I was like, okay, no problem. Because I had engineering in second choice. And that was like a quick switch. Like I didn't feel anything about it. I just went for the engineering. Like that was my calling the whole time. And I'm sure the whole time engineering was just looking at me like, this guy wanted to become an astronaut, then a firefighter, then a pilot. The whole time I'm just here waiting for him. I feel that's how engineering was looking at me because when my parents gave me that option, I was like, no problem. I'll go for I just chose chemical engineering. Partly because I heard a tutor, I think from grade 10 or 11, that was teaching me chemistry well. So that was when I got really close to chemistry. I was doing better at it. Even though my best coming into SS1 is grade 10, right? My best coming into SS1 was physics. I really loved physics that time because I was told that it's hard. When you tell me something is hard, I just double down on it to be better. Like that's just what happened. So when I took physics the first time, I just put my all. When they are teaching physics, I'm like attentive. I don't even talk with my friends a lot in class. I was just attentive. So what happened was that our assessment was over 40, right? I used to get like 38, 39. So I think the final exam, the assessment I got 40, the exam would then be over 60, so that when you add 40 and 60 to be over 100, like for the whole class. So what happened was I got 39 for the assessment. I studied well. I just put extra effort. I don't know for some reason, but we didn't read a lot that time. You just remember what you were taught in class and you just come and you write tests and exams. But for some reason, I put like extra effort. And the moment you put some extra effort, you realize that you differentiate yourself from other people. This is not even only in school, like in life, that's what happens. If you like put extra effort than other people, you just differentiate yourself. Even if the increment is like 1% every day, you're going to see it. So that's what happened. I put like extra effort and I got ready for my physics exams. And when the results came out, I was so excited. I was like, I would love to see what I did because I felt really good about what I did in the exams. Only for me to come and realize that my paper was, should I say cancelled, or I don't even understand till this day. Because everyone got their papers, but I didn't. I went to the teacher and I asked him what of my paper. He was like, right now he's going to the vice principal to talk about my exams. Like, I don't even understand. Like, that was how that year ended, and I didn't know what I got for my physics exams. I think they didn't record my physics course for that year. So I was really demoralized, I won't lie, because when I went to the next class, that's grade 11, I was so demoralized. I was like, huh, I don't want to put the same effort that I put in grade 10 and then for it to turn out really bad. So I didn't really put much effort. That's not very good. That was me before anyway. But now, if something like that happens, I'll actually double down to be better and come out better. But at that time, I was young. I didn't really understand all these kind of things. Unknown to me, I actually aced that year, and I didn't get to see my SS1 final result in physics till I finished school. That's when I got my transcript, and it was written there that for my physics, I got 99 that year. Like, that was really shocking for me. So that was when I just put physics aside, and I really connected with chemistry, and I was doing better. I was doing better. And the interesting thing is that I told you I had a tutor at home, right? It was my chemistry teacher in school that was tutoring me at home. So that was why chemistry was like easier for me. He would teach me in class, would go home, he would explain even better. That was the moment I realized I wanted to do more than just learn chemistry, maths, physics and the sciences, but I wanted to apply them, to innovate and create and so on. That was when I knew chemical engineering was my path. So, like I told you, the whole time chemical engineering was in the background. Like I just had this automatic choice of, okay, since being a pilot didn't work, I'm going for chemical engineering. I didn't even think of other engineering fields like civil, mechanical. No, I just went for chemical engineering. And the last one is that I didn't want to regret not going into engineering. Like it's something that has been in my mind the whole time. So having the opportunity to go into it, I would say is even a blessing because a lot of people want to go to a particular field, but it doesn't end up happening for them. Maybe because they applied in the university and they were rejected, they applied again, they were rejected, and they had to go through another route. So I would say it's even a blessing, it's like a privilege, an opportunity to go into what you actually want to go into. There are a lot of technical reasons that I'd rather not go into in this video. This is more like a chill story time to tell you how I ended up choosing chemical engineering. If you're interested in more stories, I made a video recently about how I got scholarship into Russia. You should really check it out. Thank you very much for watching. If you also wanted to become an astronaut or firefighter while you were young, please make sure you put it in the comments. And if you have a story to give us about your own journey, please tell us. Don't bother to put it in the comment. Once again, thank you very much for watching. Signing off now. See you on the next one.